Okay, so we're going to take this clay and we're going to go ahead and get it ready for the hand building techniques. So the very first thing you need to do again is wedge. So I'm just going to take it in my hands here, and because it's such a small piece of clay, I'm just going to wedge it for less than a minute. All right. Once I have it wedged, I can go ahead and start building with it. And remember, this is the way that you're going to form your piece. Alright, so the first technique that I'm going to show you is the slab. So I'm going to get this even, so I'm just going to use my hands to even it out, kind of like making a fat pancake. So you can use your palms too. And then what I'm going to do is use a roller. And at school we have the nice big rollers. Here at home I just have a little one. You want to roll and then flip. Alright, when you're making your slab, you have to check it for air pockets. So the way that you check this is just by looking at the surface of it. If you see little air bubbles, just little bubbles on top of the clay, then that is an air pocket. If you see that, you want to avoid using that area. So if it's off on the corner, that's a good thing. Then you could just like put a little mark with maybe like your needle tool. Do something like this, and then you know not to use that area. Alright, if it's out in the middle of your slab, then definitely you're going to want to restart, re-wedge your clay. Alright, but this one looks pretty good, so we're good to go. So this is a slab. This one you'll use for a lot of your detail work. You can use this for eyes, noses, wings, a lot of different objects. Okay, now the second technique that you're going to need to know is how to make a coil. Now coil, again, starts the same way. Okay, so after you wedge, get this into a cylinder shape. Try and get it even, or as even as possible. Alright, once you get that even, then you're going to go ahead and roll it. Alright, you can start rolling it on your table, and you're going to put some pressure on it. Now as you're rolling, you're going to want to watch that it doesn't change form. If it does, use your hand and just get it back into that cylinder form. Alright. And you're going to keep rolling it out until it's about the width of your index finger. Alright, once you have that rolled out, then you're going to go ahead and you need to check it for air pockets. So you're going to go ahead and take something that you can cut the coil with, and I have a needle tool, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. And when I cut it, if I look at the inside, if it looks solid, it's a good coil. If it looks like a fruit roll-up where the clay is all rolled, then it's not a good coil. That means that there's a bunch of air stuck inside. If it looks hollow inside, like there's nothing inside of it, then that's also not a good coil. Alright? You can also pinch a little bit here and see if it feels like it's hollow or if it's solid. If it's solid, then it's good. Okay, this one I think is pretty good, so we can use it. Alright. Good rule to follow if you want to use a coil to bend it would be to get water and to wet it completely before you try to bend it. Why? Because the coils will be too stressed if you just take the coil and try and bend it without the water. So once you have the water on it, then you can go ahead and bend it and manipulate it how you want. Alright, so that's a coil. Okay, now the last technique is probably one that you won't use a lot, but it's always good to know. And that technique is pinch. Alright, so pinch is actually where you use your fingers and you pinch the clay to form your different pieces. So when we take the clay, we have to wedge it again. And then from here, all you have to do is pinch out something that you want to use for your project. So I'm going to do my typical one that I tried to do for 8th grade. So let's see if it'll start to look like anything. Now keep in mind with these things, they cannot be too thick, because otherwise if they're really thick, that gives it a reason to want to explode in the kiln. Alright, so 1/4 of an inch or so thick is probably about as thick as we want to go. Tell what that is yet? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't knows. It's actually supposed to be a nose. It's a little crooked right now. Needs some work, but yeah. So you can pinch and manipulate the clay to form whatever it is that you want it to be. And again, this is just the beginning of what I would want it to do. I could stay here and play with it all day. Did I say play? I meant build with it all day to form what I want. So that would be the start of using pinch to create my nose. Okay, so you've now seen all 3 techniques. So again, to review, this is pinch.
Jola denko Masuka nini horonyaye